And away we go. It is the nightcap right here on BearcatJournal.com, live from the Cincy Light Studios, brought to you, as always, by our good friends at Hail Mary Sports Bar, located in Cheviot. They're on Harrison Avenue, right inside the Dora District. You can go from bar to bar with your drinks, but why would you do that when you can stay right at Hail Mary's? They have 27 TVs, a 9-screen video wall. There's not a bad seat in the house. They subscribe to every sports package that DirecTV offers. And Cincinnati sports will always be on the video wall. They have a brand new walk-in cooler, brand new draft lines, and not only did they pour the coldest Cincy Light around, but they do so in 32.8 degree frosted glasses. Go see our friends at Hail Mary's. Get yourself a Cincy Light and enjoy your time. All right, Aaron. Well, we were planning on having a talking with basketball today, but I guess that kind of got lost in the shuffle with Bengals playing on Monday. All the Bengals stuff was today, so the local media was down at Paul Brown Stadium.
No, he had a super secret 3-hour videotape watch again, and that went over.
Actually, what it was,
tricks.
What it was I couldn't be there because I was in for Mo. So they just canceled the media session. That's definitely what it was.
I mean, the real question though is, did Keegan ever get a hold of Tony Pike?
I don't know. I expressed to him that he needed to talk to Tony. Like,
it was Pike to Ben's day.
Yeah. Tony wanted a full feature on Bearcat Journal breaking down Pike to Ben's.
He said
he didn't
Keegan
get
who?
it. He wasn't happy. Yeah, Keegan who?
Eee.
I know, right? Like, Keegan's been the their go-to on Cincy 360 for UC news and information. I guess they're going to start calling me again. I don't know.
You win some, you lose some.
Yeah, it is what it is. So we don't have talking, but then QB1 kind of gave us our top, just dropped it in from the cloud. We needed a topic, so I called in a couple favors, and Brendan Sorsby set to return. According to Pete Thamel, Cincinnati quarterback Brendan Sorsby has agreed to a new deal to stay at the school per ESPN sources. So the terminology, I think, had
wild.
People, it's college football in 2024, baby. Like, yep. You better get used to it because, well, and the thing is, to discuss this first before we get to Brendan coming back, generally these are 1-year deals. So if he was going to return, he was going to need a new deal, and he got a new deal. So that's kind of where the terminology comes from. I liken it to, you notice on most of these transfer portal announcements, Aaron, it is such and such from such and such school's agency tells us that he will be entering the transfer portal. It is it is going this route at warp speed. Sorsby just happened to be the first that I guess really got this terminology in his should he stay or should he go announcement.
Just wait until not this season upcoming, but the following season, once they are getting the revenue share, and all of these deals will at that point be available via the Freedom of Information Act.
Yep.
Because they are all state funded. Well, most are state funded schools. So most of your schools will have to disclose that information.
Yep. And there ain't nothing anybody can do about it. So we're 6 months away from 7 months away from that being a reality, because everybody thinks this will start July 1st with the new fiscal year. And then you'll just be able to FOIA the school, and you will know the deal. You will have the deal right there in your hands. Welcome to the new world.
Is that going to replace, I'm assuming that's going to be what replaces the National Letter of Intent?
No, I think that's
in place.
Yeah. Essentially what in the plan to replace the National Letter of Intent, it's basically just scholarship papers. So once you sign scholarship papers, you're bound to the school. I assume you'll get your scholarship papers with your revenue sharing contract. So it'll all be a nice one, sign here, sign here, sign here. Good to go.
Lawyers.
But let's get to the heart of the matter. Sorsby returning. I know this over the past couple weeks, through back channels and things of that nature, and the rumors and rumblings you hear through the network of people that cover their teams for outlets like 24/7 and the national sources that I have. There were quite a few programs interested in Brendan Sorsby. There are teams that are going to play in the college football playoff this year, former national championship, like quote unquote blue blood teams that were working back channels. I know there's frustration over the way that the season ended, but he was a very hot commodity, and there were a lot of people that were interested in Brendan Sorsby playing for his third school in 3 years. That will not be the case. He will stay and quarterback the University of Cincinnati.
That's all wild to me, considering he never entered the portal, and that all sounds like maybe some back channel tampering, but what do I know?
Of course there's back channel tampering.
Gross.
Look, Aaron.
Gross.
The portal is going to open Monday, right? And there are going to be 500 official visits set up by like Monday evening. And that did not happen on Monday.
I'm waiting for the people who are signed, sealed, delivered by 1 p.m.
Oh, that'll happen.
That'll
happen. There'll be a couple of them. There won't be a lot of them because, look, again, if you're a player, go take some official visits. Those are fun. Like, you should probably go do that. Those are probably a lot less fun for like the older guys that are like, they're more about business than going out to the parties.
I think it depends on the guy.
Well, yes, of course. But to be fair, when you've done a couple years in college, the allure of a college party is not the same as if you're a 17-year-old in high school and you get to go to a college party for the first time.
I don't know. You've been to some of those SEC schools.
I have. Well, it depends on where you're transferring from and where you went to.
The difference between East Carolina or EMU compared to
Ole Miss, Florida,
Arkansas,
LSU. Right. Yeah. No, I don't disagree there at all. But this is the world we live in. You have to get used to it. And, schools are going to put out feelers. Well, one, the question is going to be in the back channels, like, is this guy going to be in the portal? Because if he is, we'd like to talk to him just on the basic level. And then if the answer is, yeah, there's a chance he's going to be in the portal, then the tampering meter probably turns up a couple notches.
Now, I know I brought this up a couple shows ago in questioning if Brendan was injured towards the end of the season or not. We still don't have an answer for that. I'm doubling down on that. If Cincinnati was so quick to make sure that he was back in the fold next year, this says to me anyway, I think he was injured. Do with that what
I would think it would say the exact opposite. If he was injured.
No. And I say that because if your stats fall off a cliff compared to what they were at the beginning of the season, I would think that you were probably injured. And if you were injured in something that it was minor, that you can come back next season and have production again.
The thing is, if he was dinged up, that's football. Everybody's dinged up.
We were talking about thumbs, and I think that that's dinged up, but would also alter your passing.
Potentially. I didn't have the problem that you did with his throwing ability. I thought his throwing ability was fine. His accuracy was maybe a little off, and I think that was probably more footwork than his ability to throw the football. So we disagree, but
whatever the case may be, let's hope that it's all fixed next year with the new deal in place and potentially getting some new pieces in via the portal and the incoming freshman class. We saw plenty of freshmen play this past season, and we got to hear plenty about the freshmen yesterday. So we'll see what happens.
And then now, and one thing I have heard is, and that this is, what made me confident, or at least, mostly confident that we would see him back. The word is he's trying to find some teammates. He's working the phones on his, kid from Texas, probably a lot of kids from Texas out there he could talk to, or guys that he knows from Indiana or wherever else the journey may have taken him, and friendships he has made. So he is, my understanding is all in on doing everything in his power to help the team in the portal. There's not as many. I think this year there's probably not as many guys that you're curious about their stay or go decisions as there were a year ago. The two biggest probably would be Dante Corleone and Joe Royer. My understanding is that if they play college football next year, I expect it to be at Cincinnati, or at least I think the odds are very, very in favor of Cincinnati if they come back for college football. The question with both of them, as we knew coming into this offseason, this isn't breaking any news here. Are they going to, try out the draft? And you're going to get feedback and hear from as many sources and potential, where you're at on the draft board and where you're at, where people think you're going to be. So those two guys, I think, are going to make those decisions. I think if they do pick college, I would feel pretty good about it being Cincinnati. But I don't think there's any decisions that have been made, because you're still less than a week from the season ending. So, this week is always an interesting week, because it's kind of the calm before the storm, where you're trying to rearrange your house, get it cleaned up, make sure everything's nice and tidy. And then by the start of next week, you want to kind of have an idea of what you need. Because Sat talked about this in the signing day press conference. If you're 3 days late on a kid in the portal, it's pretty much over. Especially, like if you're 3 days late, they've already set up 3 visits, and they're making a decision within 10 days. Yeah, you're already, like, the car has already left, and you're running behind it. wait. So that's kind of the next step. But I think the first step, you've got your quarterback one. They've made it very clear he is their quarterback one. They want him to be their quarterback one. And the first step was getting him to stay. He indicated in the post game for TCU that he would be back. And this just kind of makes it official.
Coffin nails, as our friend Dan Horde would say.
Bang, bang.
Actually,
bang.
I think that's Lap who said.
Well, no. Dan says coffin nails, and then Lap
does the
bang, bang, bang. Whatever. All right, that's going to wrap it up. We'll be back Saturday night, I guess, with a couple thoughts on the Howard game on Sunday. That's the nightcap. Brought to you by Hail Mary Sports Bar, live from the Cincy Light Studios, right here on BearcatJournal.com.
See ya.